Upon seeing that the demon was still alive, Dallas' gaze filled with confusion and fear. While Vicar had the sword stuck in the demon's head, Dantalion's gaze fixed on Dallas. And he couldn't help but show a confident smile. Her mind filled with many questions, she began to observe the demon and asked Vicar why he wasn't dead despite having his head pierced. Vicar's gaze fixed on the demon, and he remained silent in thought. It didn't take long for him to realize that this guy was Dantalion, one of the 10 elite corpses. Dantalion's eyes filled with emotion, and with a smile, he realized that Vicar was the person who had killed Andromalius. The back part of Quilty's head began to open. And the true demon Dantalion started to emerge, revealing that this was the face of the priest for whom he had worked so hard. But it was a shame because now he could no longer use it. Upon hearing this, Vicar's gaze filled with concern, and he couldn't help but go on alert, realizing that this was not good. Dantalion, who was now in the body of a woman with white hair, began to emerge from the body of priest Quilty, and with a smile revealed that he only confiscated faces, being able to collect faces and obtain the memories and vitality of those faces. The demon placed his hand on the shoulder of Quilty's lifeless body, turned his head backward, started staring intently at Vicar, and with an evil smile explained that what he had just killed was an entity called Quilty Rune Indulgentia. He was just one of the many faces the demon possessed. Thus Vicar could not kill the true demon until all the faces were destroyed. Vicar, who was thirsty for revenge, jumped, appeared behind the demon and with a murderous look, prepared to attack. He was determined to do what the demon had said and kill all the faces. Upon hearing this, the demon turned around and upon seeing that Vicar was ready to attack, went on alert. And just before he could react, Vicar swung his sword forcefully, stabbing it into the demon's abdomen. But then something happened again. Valis placed her hand near her chest, and her gaze filled with fear and sadness as she saw what lay before them. Meanwhile, on the other side, Vicar began observing in silence without losing his composure. Vicar forcefully drove the sword into Dantalion's chest, causing the woman who owned the body to regain consciousness. She began to cry and told Vicar that she did not want to die, asking why she had to die. Her eyes filled with sadness and despair, causing blood to start coming out of her mouth. In a desperate attempt to save her life, she begged Vicar to spare her life. And not long after, she lost her life. Vicar pulled his sword from her body, causing it to collapse onto the ground. Vicar began to observe the corpse in silence, while on the other side, Valis placed her hands over her chest and she couldn't help but panic, not knowing what was really happening. Several minutes passed and the woman's corpse did not move. Until then, the corpse opened up and a man began to emerge from within. An ordinary man came out of the woman's corpse, sat down, started turning his head from side to side, and with a confused expression asked what this place was. Vicar did not lower his guard, and his gaze fixed on the man. He was ready to attack. The expression of Dallas was filled with surprise and confusion. She could not believe that the demon Dantalion had so many faces. The man put his hand on top of his head and with a surprised gaze remembered that he was buying the meat empanada that his daughter liked. When suddenly on the way home, something had happened. Just before the man even had time to finish the sentence, Vicar, who was full of rage, forcefully swung the sword and cut off the man's head, making it fly through the air. To Vicar, the demon was very arrogant. The eyes of Vicar, which were full of rage, filled with surprise upon seeing a small child crying. Once the man's corpse fell to the ground, Dantalion re-emerged from within, now taking the form of a child. The child put his hands over his face and began to cry, asking why Vicar was so mean. Vicar clenched his fist tightly and tried to attack the child, but his body would not move. The child started rubbing his eyes with his fists and, with a sad expression, explained that he had done nothing wrong, asking why Vicar was bullying him. Vicar began to observe the child in silence. The child started crying even more to gain Vicar's trust. But then a boy told the demon that he could stop acting. Vicar began to recall the time when children's faces had appeared on the face of the demon Andromalius. He started showing the powerful blade of Beelzebub's sword to Dantalion and with a gaze full of rage revealed that he was already immune to it thanks to his friend. Seeing that the act wasn't working, the demon took control of the child's body, began gazing at Wicker, and couldn't help but start smiling. The demon began to use his paw, causing the child's finger to transform into a spike. With a smile, the demon launched one of his faces toward Wicker, which struck directly against his hand, making the face merge with his wrist. This caught Wicker off guard. He started observing his hand, and his gaze filled with surprise. He didn't know what was happening. With a grin, the demon said that it was a gift. And just before he could finish the sentence, Wicker cut off the child's head with the sword. The child's head flew through the air, but the demon's gaze filled with excitement, causing a confident smile to appear on his face. The child's head began to spin rapidly, causing limbs to start emerging from it. The demon changed shape again. Now he had the body of a young man with grey hair. Using his hands and feet, the demon stopped his moving body. With a demonic gaze, the man began to show his hand, causing the true mouth of the demon Dantalion to appear. Both started looking at Wicker and couldn't help but begin laughing. The power of the demon began to take effect on Wicker's body, making his expression fill with terror, and not long after, he started feeling dizzy and fell to his knees on the ground. Seeing this, Dollars couldn't help but worry about him, and with a surprised expression asked if he was okay. The demon began to stand up, and several eyes and mouths appeared on his face. He started showing his palm to Wicker, causing the eye of the true demon to begin shining, revealing that he had on Wicker, and now he was going to show him the emotions and memories of the face. The face that the demon had planted on Wicker belonged to someone who had suffered from paranoia and schizophrenia, resulting in him ending up killing his precious family. The face that the demon had planted on Wicker began covering half of Wicker's own face. He tried to resist but was unable, causing a smile to appear on half of his face. The demon mocked him by asking how it felt to have the memories of two people colliding in a single body, Wicker's memories, and that person's trauma were going to mix, causing his consciousness to begin disappearing. As the demon had mentioned, little by little Wicker's memories began to merge with that person's trauma. The demon placed his hand under his chin, and his expression turned surprise. In a desperate attempt to save himself, Wicker cut off his own arm and began showing a confident look, revealing that he was not give up so easily. Upon seeing this, Dolores put her hands over her mouth and was shocked. She couldn't believe that Wicker had cut off his own arm. Her gaze filled with sadness and concern. But our boy asked her not to worry about him. Wicker's arm began to regenerate until, several seconds later, a completely healthy arm appeared as if it had never been damaged. He revealed that he was fighting against a demon, but that didn't mean he was an average human. Far from being astonished, the demon remained calm, began to observe Wicker, and now understood why Andromelius had been defeated. His attention was fixed on the Beelzebub sword, and upon seeing the demonic energy, he realized that it was the demonic sword Beelzebub. Wicker's body was surrounded by an aura of a graduate of the highest degree. An excited smile appeared on the demon's face since our boy was a difficult opponent to face directly. He began to use his power, making more faces appear on his hand. He started pointing at Wicker with his finger and decided to change plans. Seeing this, Wicker adopted a defensive stance, ready to block the attack, while on the other side, Dolores was paralyzed with fear. Instead of pointing at Wicker, the demon began to point at Dolores, leaving her shocked, not knowing what was going to happen. The demon shot a face toward her, she closed her eyes and prepared to receive the attack. But Wicker was not going to allow this to happen, so using the sword, he deflected the attack without much effort. The demon's fingers transformed into faces. He began observing Wicker and with a smile revealed that he knew he was going to protect the Saintess. Realizing that he had a weakness right by his side, the demon shot several more faces toward Dolores, but Wicker stepped in between and started blocking the attacks. Dolores panicked and with a sincere expression asked our boy not to worry about her, and she advised him to fight against the demon. But Wicker stood firm and refused to lose the pillar of the heroes. Hearing this, Dollars' eyes filled with surprise, but then she swallowed hard, thinking that she couldn't be a burden to him. The demon launched more attacks again, but Wicker began blocking once more. This fight was cruel and frightening. The Night Bloodhound was fighting alone right now, making her start to wonder if he would also have to fight alone in the future. She filled herself with determination and clasped her hands. She had to strengthen her determination, but she was so afraid that she couldn't stop trembling. She closed her eyes. Andy calmed herself, causing a golden aura to appear around her. She wanted to help the Night Bloodhound at all costs. She prepared to use her power, but just then, one of the faces that had been shot by Dantalion fell near her. She opened her eyes, and her gaze fixed on the face, leaving her stunned. Tears appeared in the eyes of the face, and a familiar voice began to sound. She separated her hands, and her eyes filled with terror as this voice was Quilty's. Fear and panic took control of her, making her start to feel guilty about everything. The demon's plan had worked. He couldn't help but begin to smile. His arm transformed into tentacles with faces. He prepared to attack. Thinking this was too easy, the demon extended his arm toward them, causing thousands of faces to shoot out at them. Having one transplanted person was already painful enough. No one knew what would happen to a human when there were hundreds of transplants. As the attack slowly approached, Wicker adopted a defensive stance, began watching the demon, and prepared to defend himself. With a confident expression, he explained that he could simply slice them all. The tentacles reached him. Our boy started swinging the sword with precision, cutting through many of the faces. The demon once again launched even more faces toward them, and with a smile, asked him if he truly believed he could cut through thousands of faces. Wicker did not lose his composure and continued cutting the faces, but just then, his attention focused on something, causing his eyes to fill with surprise. Among the faces was the face of a girl who was very familiar to Wicker. This face belonged to Perry. The memories of the orphanage came to Wicker's mind. She had placed a crown of flowers on our boy's head, then both had sat next to a tree to talk. The image of Perry happily smiling filled our boy's mind, and Wicker began to see the same smile on the face that was in front of him. Wicker was paralyzed upon realizing that the demon had also killed Perry, causing his gaze to fill with sadness and guilt for not having protected her earlier. Wicker's mind clouded, and this was enough for the tentacles to successfully strike Wicker's body. Our boy was left defenseless, and thousands of faces began to enter his body. This is the end of the video. If you guys want to see the next part, then please subscribe to our channel and like the video.